Remember that time we joke about Hideaki Anno doing his own Gundam series? Well, yeah, it's actually happening. It's not Shin Gundam though. In this video, we're gonna talk about early series information, first impressions, predictions, and merch that has been announced at this point for Gquuuuuux. Or to say it more accurately, Gquuuuuux. So yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam Gquuuuuux is a collaboration between Sunrise and Studio Khara, the studio behind the Evangelion rebuild movies. And of course, the studio is led by Hideaki Anno himself. The show will have a pre-release screening across theaters in Japan starting January 17. The show will receive its full release later on, sometime in 2025. Assuming this is a full-on Gundam show and not just a short OVA like Requiem for Vengeance, it does feel a bit weird and definitely unexpected to get a full-scale project just over a year after Gquuuuuux ended. But after finding out who's working on this and just how significant this is to the world of mecha, man, I am super excited. Also, I think we could say that this show and Gundam Seed are the reasons why we're not getting a new season of Gquuuuuux. Directing the new show is Kazuya Tsurumaki, who helped Anno direct the rebuild movies and also served as an assistant director for the original Evangelion TV show. Tsurumaki also directed Die Buster, so he's definitely experienced in working with female mecha leads. Anno will co-write the script with Ryoji Enokido, who has written for Neon Genesis Evangelion, Rasa Fawn, Star Driver, Captain Earth, Revolutionary Girl Utena, and Fooly Cooly, among others. By the way, Enokido will actually lead the series composition for the show, so you can expect most of the story to come from him, with Anno still influencing the writing to some degree. Leading Gquuuuuux's mecha design is Ikoto Yamashita, who is known for his mech designs in both the original Evangelion and the rebuild movies. Music will be produced by Yoshimasa Terui of Jujutsu Kaisen fame, and Masayaki Hasuo, whose work I'm not really familiar with, but I am looking forward. On top of that, the trailer music sounds a lot like a certain Utada Hikaru song featured in Rebuild. If you know, you know. Now, what's this new Gundam story about? We don't have specifics yet, but so far we know that the story revolves around clan battles, where people use mobile suits to fight for prize money. Clan battles are won by destroying the head of your enemy's mobile suit. I'm guessing they went with a Gundam fight route instead of the traditional war story as a result of Gquuuuuux's success. They probably feel that the modern audience is kinda tired of the traditional war and battle story, and they want to continue that freshness started by Gquuuuuuux, or I guess G Gundam if you want to go way back. But I still do want to believe that things will eventually escalate to something of high impact. Adding more similarities to Gquuuuuuux is the potential bisexual threesome. Jokes aside, I hope the dynamic between Machu and Nyan won't be just a recreation of Sulamio. I want this new Gundam show to be as unique and original as possible. I can't exactly say that I'm a Sulamio hater, but I don't think we need another Sulamio. I hope you guys agree with me on that. As for the main characters, we have Amate Yuzuriha, aka Machu, a high school student questioning the false peaceful colony she lives in, so she joins Clan Battle, which I believe is basically like Gundam Fight Club, or Real Steel, or Megalobox, or G Gundam but without the politics, or maybe a little bit of the politics. She's voiced by Tomoyo Kurosawa, who also voiced Amiya in Arknights. Next, we have Nyan. Yeah, this very serious looking character is named Nyan, a refugee who escaped her war-torn homeland and now strives for her own survival. Oh, and Nyan is also involved in illegal smuggling, so she probably sells gunpla. She's voiced by Yui Ishikawa, popular for voicing 2B, and this also marks her second Gundam role, as she's also voiced China Kosaka from Build Fighters. Lastly, we have her male character, Shuji Ito, a mysterious boy wanted by the military police for, painting graffiti. Probably the coolest war crime ever. He joins Machu in clan battle to earn money for a certain purpose. We still don't know. So far, he's the most mysterious character in the show. Shuji, the mysterious boy he is, shows up with a mysterious mobile suit, a Gundam. And it's quite interesting to see them gender bend the usual trope of mysterious female lead that we usually see in mecha anime, like Eureka from Eureka 7, Fiona from Zoids, I guess C2 from Code Geass, and that mysterious lolly from Comet Lucifer, which is, well, don't check it out, you'll be disappointed. Shuji is referred to as Machu's Mav. Now, we don't really know what the word Mav means yet, but since clan battles are 2v2s, I'm guessing Mav could mean like A partner? A partner during clan battle? Anyway, Machi will participate in clan battles as part of a team known as the Pomeranians, which I guess explains why the Gundam has like a dog icon on its chest. Additionally, there are also some leaks, which I won't be showing here because apparently Bandai's been taking down posts about them. Anyway, TLDR, the leaks imply that the story is actually an alternate take on the Universal Century, where Char was able to get his own Gundam and thus helping Zeon win the war, which could explain why our main character is able to live a peaceful colony life. Some people say the title Gquuuuux is actually a wordplay on Sieg Axe, like Sieg Zeon and Axe that the Zaka uses. And if this is true, this further supports these leaks. And if this leak is true, this opens up the possibility of these characters being related to known characters from the Universal Century. Who knows, one of these characters could be related to Amuro, or Char, or Lala. But yeah, despite how interesting and believable this leak is for multiple reasons, please still take this with a grain of salt until we actually get official confirmation. Alright, so for initial impression, so far to me it's generally giving what I call the modern Gainax vibe. And that vibe isn't just something exclusive to Kara. It's something I've also seen in works by Studio Trigger, which like Kara is a studio started by a former Gainax crew member. I guess it's safe to say that both Kara and Trigger still retain some of their style from Gainax. The animation and overall art direction so far looks beautiful. Probably the artsiest Gundam we've seen in a while. Definitely artsier than both Gquuuuuux and IBO. And I guess also than RFV, but that goes without saying. Let's talk about Gquuuuux's mobile suit animation. The CGI mechs don't look shabby at all. Seems like a very anime-friendly 2.5D, or just an anime-friendly 3D. As for the Gundam's design, the initial thought I had was that it looked like something from Eureka 7 mixed with that Rasa Fawn flavor. Then upon learning of the involvement of Kara's Evangelion team, the design's somewhat organic aesthetic and abundance of detail made a lot of sense. It does look a lot like the modern Evangelion designs from Rebuild. Many people online seem to dislike the design because it's so different from what we usually get, like it doesn't look that much like a Gundam. I initially found the design a bit weird, but after knowing that this is a partnership with Studio Kara, I now think that this design perfectly represents the essence of this project in the history of Gundam. Also, some people online have pointed out that the head design of the Gquuuuuux kinda looks like it could open a mouth. Kinda like an EVA. And regarding how over-detailed this design is, mecha designer Ikuto actually apologized to the director for making such a complex design. But I do feel that over-detailed designs are actually kind of a trend we've seen in modern Gundam series. And the fact that it's being shown with a heat hawk is bringing out mixed opinions online. Some people love how bizarre the idea is, and some others just think it's too out of place. Personally, I'm just glad we have options for either a Heat Hawk or a Beam Saber. Speaking of which, I love how unique this saber looks with its hacksaw-like shape. And honestly, I do feel the Heat Hawk will just be an early story weapon of Gquuuuuux. I also want to shout out to the design of the Haro. I love that it wears a beanie, works so well. And I also want to mention its lack of ears. It kind of looks like it has speakers instead of ears. So if those really are speakers, it would be interesting to see how they utilize that. Like, will music be a core part of the story? Or does the Haro have its own tragic backstory and its ears were actually ripped out? Now for the character design, it feels very youthful, kind of feels like Pokemon. I'm guessing that like Gquuuuuux will target teens and maybe even younger audiences. Despite looking somewhat tailored for a kids show, I think this character design feels more consumable and audience friendly than that of Gundam Age. Don't get me wrong, I love Age. As for how I think the story is gonna go, while Anno is mostly known for his depression expressing work in Evangelion, I do think he's moved past that phase. I wouldn't call his recent works purely lighthearted, but I do think they are at least on the more balanced side of things. And also considering he's co-writing this with Enokido, there should be a good exchange of ideas there. Also, while I fairly like Shin Kamen Rider, I do acknowledge its flaws, but I'm also confident its problems won't be present here, since Anno's only writing a script here. Now let's talk about merch. Well, specifically, there are 4 pieces of merch I want to talk about. First, let's talk about the high grade. It looks great. Bandai's modern high grades have been mostly good so far. And based on the preview video we got for the high grade, I'm not seeing any C-clips. I mean, there could be hidden C-clips here and there, but yeah, a lot of you guys complain about C-clips. If this kit turns out to not have C-clips, then good for you guys. And generally, the construction seems to be quite similar to Gquuuuuux kits, but on a rather improved level. It does look to be a good kit so far, and it comes with a full range of accessories. It comes with an extra head for its mask form. It comes with the beam sabers, and it also comes with its standard beam rifle, shield, and the heat hawk we see it with. The high grade will retail for 2,200 yen and will release in January. Yes, that fast. And I'm pretty sure we're eventually gonna see at least a high grade of the Zaku looking mobile suit featured in the trailer. While the high grade is pretty much expected, I'm actually really surprised that they simultaneously announced the Metal Robot Damashi. The Metal Robot Damashi, of course, it's gonna be more expensive. It's releasing in August 2025 for 22,000 yen, which is like 10 times the price of the high grade. Kinda funny if you think about it. And we're also getting an FW Converge for people who prefer like the cuter proportions. Now I want to talk about the Ichiban Kuji Masterlice, or Masterless, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, Machu, scheduled for release in Feb 2025. This will be available exclusively on Ichiban Kuji Online. Kinda sad, I would say, but there probably would be other ways to get this. The price for this would be 700 yen per draw, so like that doesn't guarantee you would get her immediately with just 700 yen. You might need to pull multiple times to get her. Kinda cool how we already have a figure of Machu announced this early. We're also getting Figuarts minifigures for all 3 of the lead characters, and a prize figure for Machu. So yeah, that's it for the video. I'm personally really looking forward to this. This is such a big event in the world of Gundam, the world of mecha even. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Are you excited? Are you afraid that this is just gonna be another Gquuuuuux? Because I personally don't think it's gonna be another Gquuuuuux. I think this will be its own thing. Anyway, y'all have a nice day.